Hello and welcome to Downtown. I'm your host, Robbie Haig. Thank you for being here. Today I'm talking with two people from the Plymouth 400. George McKay, who is the Associate Director, and Cheryl Soares, who is the Program Manager. Thank you both for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, Robbie.
And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, we want to tell people what the Plymouth 400 is all about.
Plymouth 400, we're charged basically with commemorating the 400th anniversary of the Mayflower journey, the formation of Plymouth Colony, and the interaction between the English and Wampanoag people in 2020. We'll be having quite a few signature events and programs throughout the year.
And the programs will run into 2021, which is the 400th anniversary of the first Thanksgiving.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're excited.
And also in this, one of the fundraisers you're doing is the license plates.
Right, and that's the primary reason why we asked to be here today, because we have some exciting things going on.
We do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started with the license plate. It was talked about way back in 2008, and then we decided to go for it because it is a fundraiser and it can raise a lot of funds. So,
And you had to have 1,500 up front.
exactly. So the RMV would not produce the license plates until we gave them 1,500 applications, and with each and every application, $40. So we started that in the fall of 2012. We took our first check at Plymouth Town Meeting. And George was with me at that time, and we didn't think it would take too long.
Yeah, it took longer than we thought,
Yeah.
because we were selling almost nothing except
Right.
A piece of-
picture of
piece of
piece of
paper.
Yeah,
paper.
give us your
Give
personal
me-
information and
and
$40, and
$40.
we have nothing to give you. But over 2 years it took us. And
You've come a long way.
we have come a long way with it. So we're excited about that. And one thing that the RMV let us do with any specialty plate is they hold aside whatever numbers we want, 1 through 99, and 10 out of sequence numbers. So we chose special dates such as
1620
and
2020.
yeah, and of course number 1 is a big one as well. To have an auction
At a later date.
at a later to whatever date we chose.
And here we are.
And here
the
we
later
are.
The later date has arrived.
It has.
And so that's the primary reason why we wanted to talk to you today.
Very good. So
Right.
tell me about the date.
So the auction right now is live online. So anyone can go.
Oh, it has been going
Oh,
on.
it has.
Excellent.
Anyone can go. We make it easy for you. Go to www.myplymouthplate.org. It's on our website as well. And you can click on to the auction site. So I'm crazy about it. I'm always, well, what's going on? And currently we are at 32,000.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
So people can bid right now on their computer,
Right.
and there's a minimum bid on some of the numbers. Most of the numbers are starting at the $500 range, minimum bid. The 1620 plate
Well.
started with 10,000.
It did.
And it's now up to,
Well, it still shows 10,000. However, there are 2 bids on it.
right.
So that
Oh.
second bidder,
Wow.
we don't know what he's willing to pay. She put in a maximum bid. So it doesn't show me what that person is willing to pay,
Really?
but it's gone beyond 10,000.
Well,
Right.
10,000 is a lot of dollars for a license plate.
It is, but
Well,
we
it's a
did do
one-time.
research. We
Of
did a
course.
lot of research. There's 19 specialty plates in Massachusetts, and they've all been given the opportunity to have auctions. So we've done some research, and one of the most successful was the Cape and Islands plate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, number 1 went for $147,000.
Really?
It did.
Oh, wow.
So we're hoping we can maybe not get that number, but we'll
Well,
get.
why not,
Sure.
George?
Why not?
Why
That's
not?
obviously. So one of the reasons we're here, Robbie, is to find the person that will pay $147,000 for our
Excellent.
number one.
Another plate that does very well is the Red Sox Jimmy Fund plate, and Ben Affleck paid $50,000 for number one.
Wow.
So,
Excellent.
yeah, it's possible.
So it's a one-time fee, whatever the market will bear.
Right.
Yes.
And it's tax deductible.
It is.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that person gets to keep that license plate for as long as he wants to?
For as long as they want, and it can be passed down through generations. So, for example, in our research, we found that the first plate issued in Massachusetts was number one over 100 years ago,
Really?
and it is still active. So it's been
Wow.
passed down through generations.
So all the person has to do to maintain that plate is
To renew their registration every 2 years.
okay.
So when they actually renew their registration, there's a $40 fee every 2 years to continue to have the specialty plate.
And so the registration is portable from vehicle to vehicle, and then it can be passed on to the next generation.
Right.
That's wonderful.
So it's a tax deductible investment up front, and it can be passed on.
And I add that out of the 19 specialty plates in Massachusetts, it is the only one depicting history. So
Excellent. So tell me how you're going about doing this live auction.
the live auction will take place on June 3rd at the New England Historic Genealogical Society in Boston.
Okay.
So Brenton Simons is the director there, and he is a director for Plymouth 400. So we want to let people know that this is not just a Plymouth plate, it is a statewide plate, Massachusetts plate. And we have a lot of people who have interest, Mayflower descendants, people who love history. So we'll be having it there June 3rd, and check-in is from 6 to 7, and the auction will start at 7. There's limited seating, so people do need to go on that myplymouthplate.org, and there'll be information to sign up to take part in the live auction.
And on the TV, you can, if you go into the, what is it, liveauctioneers.com, and that site can be accessed through
Through My Plymouth Plate.
through My Plymouth Plate, and look at some current auctions. They're very interesting to see how it works. You can see people bidding live, and you can see people on the screen, in the corner of the screen. Mostly it's jewelry, antiques, collectibles,
yeah.
that kind of thing. But it's a very interesting process where they combine live auction with internet type auctions.
There's many ways to bid.
You can also bid by telephone.
You
right?
can bid by telephone. However, if you're going to do that, again, all this information is on My Plymouth Plate. You do need to pre-register through our auctioneer company, which is J. James Auctioneers and Appraisers. All that information is there. You also, if you don't want to go into Boston and you want to be a part of the bidding process, you can stay at home and just go onto that site and bid right from your computer from your home. So there's many different ways.
So the bidding has been going on now
It
for
has.
a while.
It has.
And on June 3rd, it's going to be
That will be it. That will
That's
be
it.
the
They'll
live
be-
auction, and we'll be done.
They'll
Yeah.
be-
The live auction in combination of the previous bids on the internet
Right.
and live continuing bidding
Wow.
over the internet with the people at the Genealogical Society. So it should be a very exciting night.
Sure.
I mean, if
So
you-
it's Pride,
Yes. Yes.
number one.
And I
Pride.
love our tagline right there.
Yes. An American story, a national legacy.
Right.
I think it's a wonderful, fantastic idea. Now,
And if you want to bid on number one and somebody bids higher,
Yeah.
then you can get a lower number, or if you fail to win any of the license plates at the auction, the next day you can go down to the registry and say, I want to exchange my current license plate for a Plymouth license plate.
very good.
Every single registry now has them in stock.
Yes, so that's something important. So if someone doesn't want to be a part of the auction, but they want a plate, they can at any time do that. So it is available and will continue to be available, like I said, for that $40 every 2 years. So
Right, I went out to dinner with friends last night, and I was talking up the auction, and they said, well, I really don't want to bid
Yeah.
on a low number, but can I go to the registry? And
Sure.
they didn't know they could. And
yeah.
And
We
Cheryl
need to
and I
get
know
that
you can.
information out. I know we live it 24/7.
Right. But we've come up with these displays that we're putting around at local businesses. And in the one you see here, it has the little brochures there for
These
the
little cards.
the little cards
Yeah.
for the number one.
Very good.
But when those are
Yeah.
depleted and after June 3rd, then the cards will say, get your 2020 license
Excellent.
plate at the registry. So
Yeah. Now,
But-
so if I wanted my birthday, you could go in
no,
and.
not any
Question-
longer. When we were selling the first 1,500,
Oh, okay.
that's one of the ways we marketed the first 1,500.
That you could pick your
Very
number.
good.
You could pick something of the first 1,500.
Okay,
But
Right.
now,
excellent.
But
now
now
you
it's-
get what you get,
Yeah,
basically.
we had some control over it then, and now it is completely in the RMV's hands.
Okay,
So-
very good.
So,
So, and the reason for doing this wonderful plate sale,
Two,
okay,
to get a promotion out related to the 2020 events, 2021 events, and leave a legacy of that behind us, because these will be out forever, basically.
Right.
Not quite forever, but that's a long
Right.
time. But a long time.
long time.
And the other thing is it generates revenue for the events and for the 2020 organization. When people bid on these at the auction, everything above the basic $20 fee that will go to the registry for the
Okay.
plate will come back to the the
Okay.
400
so that
operation.
$40, the very first time you buy your plate, Plymouth 400 gets 28, and the registry keeps 12 for administration.
Oh.
And then every 2 years, Plymouth 400 will get the full $40.
Oh.
So, for instance, some of our research for Cape and Islands, they generate more than $1 million a year in plates. So it can be a substantial fundraiser.
Right, and they've earmarked that money for basically supporting their tourism industry.
Sure.
And the basic charter that we have is similar to that,
Right.
Very
to
good.
make people aware of the history related to Plymouth, its founding, the interaction with the native peoples, and the first Thanksgiving, which led to the Thanksgiving we now celebrate
Sure.
every
Right.
year here. So, it's an interesting program from a historical point of view. It's a very lucrative financial program to help fund some of the things we're trying to do.
Very good.
And it's fun to be a part of. Maybe because I live it 24/7, I find myself always looking. I have to be careful on the road, and waving to people. They probably think I'm crazy, but
Well, I've seen that you have these, what do you call these? These license plate on the side of the car?
Yeah, these are
I think that's a
magnetic
brilliant
license plates.
idea.
Yeah.
Brilliant, yeah.
George
we're
is
trying to-
always thinking of
We're
creative
trying to
ways.
get the word out, and we were talking earlier today about the support that we're getting from the old colony. They are running a series now. They're calling it what, the Countdown series?
Yeah, so
Where
10 series we started with 10.
Yeah,
and
they
the
show
countdown, yeah.
somebody with a number 10 license plate and a little story behind it. And 2 weeks ago it was Darius Combs, a native people. He had, what, number 9?
I'm not sure.
8 or 9,
Yeah.
I forget what it was. I think it
Right.
was 8.
Yeah.
And then this week, who was the feature in this week?
Marianne Cooper,
Right,
Chris Cooper's wife, yeah.
right. She's an actress. And so they're doing a countdown. So we're getting 10 weeks worth of publicity from the old colony out of this. And then they'll give us a lot of publicity
And
at the
Darius is a Native American,
Yes,
is he
that's
not?
correct, yes.
So that
Yeah.
you're working also with Native Americans as
Yes.
well as,
Well, as you know,
Everyone.
part of our logo includes the one of the native peoples
Absolutely.
in addition to the Mayflower.
sure.
And they're an integral part of the story.
They are. I mean, we really try we have to make everything that we put out there needs to be historically accurate and culturally inclusive. So,
Which has not always been the case when they
Right.
had these kind of commemorations
Right.
before. But
right.
And that's wonderful. So this money will be coming to you even after 2020?
The board of directors will, yes, it will be continue year after year. So, you know, in 2021, when we're done with all of our programs and events, you know, that will be a discussion where that money is going to continue to go.
And you say that the Old Colony Memorial newspaper is behind you with this. That's wonderful.
We have a lot of partners and a lot of people who have helped us, Plymouth 400 in general and with this project. And also if you go on our Facebook page, there's the Old Colony Memorial Countdown, and then, you know, go onto our social media and there's fun things there as well.
Well, I would like to bring up the name of George Mand, who also works for the
Frank?
Frank Mand.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
George, I just gave you a new name. Frank Mand, who works for the Old Colony.
Yeah.
yes, he's
And
been very supportive.
We've had him on the show, and his plan is to go west on Thanksgiving of 2019 and to come back into town a year later at 2020. No, I have that wrong. He's going the 2018 to come back to town 2019, which will be the beginning of the 2020 year, and that would be Thanksgiving. He's planning to come into town.
Well, he's walking.
He's
He's
walking across
He's
the
going to
country.
walk
Yeah.
across
Thank
the
you.
country. Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
he's-
So don't confuse me with Frank, because I would never walk across the country.
I hear you, George.
and Frank, I think, is hoping to get a couple of rides along the way.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but it's a wonderful thing he's doing.
It is, and we'll get a lot of publicity out of that. I'm sure we will,
Absolutely.
you know.
Sure.
It's a great idea that
Yeah.
he's doing. So.
So, should I ask you what kind of programs you're planning for 2020?
Sure, we can, since we've voted on it. We're going to, of course, have an opening ceremony, and that will take place in April 2020. So that's where we're hoping.
One of the big dilemmas we had, you'll find interesting, is the Pilgrims actually landed here in late December. And when we were trying to figure out the dates for some of this stuff, we said, gee, how many people can we get in town in late December? And they lived on the boat and built their houses when the snow was flying. So we decided to not call it an arrival ceremony, but we started talking about an embarkation ceremony.
Yeah.
So.
I will
But
tell
we
you,
now
in,
have
the,
the dates
in the
fixed.
office, though, I am already getting calls from people who want to make arrangements, you know, to be here in 2020.
Excellent.
Yeah, and they're calling the hotels, and the hotels
Yes.
don't want to take reservations.
18 months out, some of them a year out, yeah.
So-
So.
But anyway, as Paul Kripp says, we will fill every hotel room
Excellent.
in 2020 in southern New England, no questions.
Yes.
So obviously, we in Plymouth can't house everyone. So
Right.
we are partners all through Plymouth Colony with
Yeah.
people, and we have a transportation committee. We have a lot of standing committees that have the expertise in areas. So we have a transportation committee that did a pilot program with America's Hometown Thanksgiving Celebration, and brought people to the parade, you know, to see how it would work. And they really didn't market it till very late. They were surprised how many people took advantage of that.
Wow.
Well over 2,000 people. So we know we're going to have to transport people from other places. We can't have everyone parking there and staying there.
And of course, it's a statewide celebration, so it's a worldwide, but
Yes.
statewide.
Right.
So we'll have a lot of people here.
And
for
as we
sure.
get closer, momentum will continue to build, and more people will want to come. And
Sure.
And
It'll be incredible.
we'll have our signature events and programs, but many of our partners already have events that they do, or they may want to do an event. So that will be part of our master calendar as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So all in all, The town is working with you?
The town is working with us. The state is working with us. We
Excellent.
have partners in the UK and the Netherlands, so
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
it is exciting.
I had heard the question, will the Queen of England be invited?
Well, certainly royalty,
Sure.
from the UK will be invited, probably to the opening ceremony,
Mm-hmm.
as well as president, whoever,
Right.
you
We're
know,
Sure.
we
trying
know
to
the
get-
president.
Sure,
The leaders of countries
Right.
here.
Will be invited,
absolutely,
right.
yeah. Well,
And then there's other programs that we'll have, including an embarkation festival, which will be a multicultural, multi-day festival talking about immigration.
Oh.
So that is part of our story as
Wonderful.
well, where the Pilgrims were arguably the first immigrants to come here.
mhm.
We all, it makes us all a part of the story.
And the,
Well, the other part of the story is the effect of the Mayflower Compact, which
Yes.
was signed off of Provincetown, but that was a significant document that led to some of the principles in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution.
And we have partnered with Provincetown. They're such an integral part of the story. And they have their own organization, Provincetown 400.
very good.
Yeah. So
Very good. So, and the Mayflower itself is out being readied for the big celebration,
It
is
is.
that correct?
That's
Yes, it
correct, yeah.
It'll take a little while.
A 2-year renovation of, so
2-year.
that will be in very good shape in 2020 and 2021. So
Excellent.
a lot of things going on behind the scenes, including that. And I should make a pitch. If you want to see the Mayflower, it's being reconstituted in Mystic Seaport.
Oh, very good.
So
Right.
we had some people come in from out of town who were very disappointed that the Mayflower was not here, and they drove right by Mystic Seaport where they could have seen
Excellent.
it. So
Ah,
we're
Isn't
not
that
giving.
wonderful?
Yeah.
we're
Give a
not-
little to Connecticut, too.
That's right, absolutely.
one of the events that we're going to have is a Provincetown to Plymouth Maritime Regatta and Parade of Lights.
Wow.
So we can't say what the weather will be. We don't know, but we hope the
Right.
Mayflower will be a part of that. But we can't definitely say.
Yeah.
Depends.
So,
But the thing to recommend to everybody is to go to the Plymouth 400 website, and they can get updated on all the events that are going on currently and will be planned for 2020 and 2021.
and have them buy those license plates.
That's
Buy
right,
those
buy the
license
license
plates.
plates. Absolutely.
And is the final June 3rd going to be televised?
It will be live streamed, so people will be able to see it
Okay.
either through our website, our Facebook page, Plymouth 400.
Or they can go onto auctioneers.com, liveauctioneers.com.
Or also New England Historic Genealogical Society will also have it live streamed. So
That sounds very exciting. It would be a wonderful thing to watch,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
especially, those big numbers.
yes, and number one, which we think will be a big number and people will want, we have 109 lots in the auction, and we originally thought one would be the last one. But if everyone wants it, they'll have missed out on maybe other plates that they
Very
could have.
true.
So we did make that number 10, and then we're going to count. I'm not sure how the lots go, but we're going to end with 2020.
Yeah.
So the 10th
Very
one will
good.
be.
We think the top three will be 2020, 1620.
I don't have number one.
No,
Oh,
you're on the little
number
top.
one.
Number one.
Very
We think
good.
those will be the top three. Although one thing that I found interesting was that number 12 is getting a lot of interest.
Really?
And I said, what's going on with number 12? And somebody said to me, don't you know that's Tom Brady's number?
Oh, my
And number
goodness.
33 on our social media, we had Larry Bird.
Oh, I didn't know that either. So
And,
anyway.
and that's been
Excellent.
bid on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well-
if you're not a history buff, but you're a sports buff, there's something
Sure.
in this auction for you too.
Yeah.
So for all of you out there, it's June 3rd, as you can see at the front of the desk here. It ought to be a very exciting time.
Should be very exciting.
Right.
Get out and get your license plates.
Get out, and that's
Change
great.
your
Thank you.
license
Yeah.
plate. Thank you.
Thank you.
both
Well,
for
thank
being
you, Robbie,
here.
for
This
having
is
us.
a
We
lot
really
We
of fun.
appreciate it.
this.
It's good to
And
see you.
It's good to see you also. And thanks for being here. And thank you out there for being with us today. And we hope you do take part. I'm sure the group needs your dollars and in years to come. Thank you for being part of Downtown. I'm your host, Robbie Haig, and I hope to see you again real soon.